Hey, welcome back to the Debt Sucks podcast, where we untangle money myths, punch debt in the face, and remind you that you are so much more than a number on a spreadsheet, a credit report, or someone else's Instagram feed. I'm your host, Ben Matthews, bankruptcy attorney, financial realist, and the guy who's here to tell you that a good credit score won't tuck you in at night, won't make your rent magically disappear, and definitely won't stop your dog from chewing through your emergency fund. The credit score obsession and why it's not a life score. Last week, we took a wrecking ball to the comparison trap, that nasty little habit of measuring your life against someone else's highlight reel. We talked about how it kills progress, distorts reality, and leaves you broke, bitter, and burning out just trying to keep up with Becky and her bougie brunches. This week, we're staying in that same lane of financial freedom and emotional sanity, but shifting gears to another number that gets way too much power. Your credit score. This episode is called The Credit Score Obsession and Why It's Not a Life Score. Because somewhere along the way, we all got tricked into thinking this 3-digit number was the holy grail of adulthood. And I'm here to lovingly say, nope, hard pass. So let's unpack this mess, the myth of the magic number. Let's start here. Your credit score is not your GPA for adulthood. It is not a measure of how smart you are, how responsible you are, or whether you're winning at life. It's a debt behavior score. That's it. It tells lenders how well you play with borrowed money. That's like judging someone's parenting based on how well they load the dishwasher. Helpful? Maybe, but definitely not the full picture. Here's what your credit score does care about. Do you pay your bills on time? Do you have a mix of credit types? Are you borrowing just enough to be profitable to banks, but not so much that you look risky? It's basically a game where the better you serve the system, the more points you get, which means that paying off all your debt and never borrowing again could actually hurt your score. Tell me again how that's a life score? The credit score trap. Now, I'm not saying your credit score doesn't matter at all. If you're buying a house or a car, sure, it can get you better rates. But here's the trap. We've started worshiping the score and ignoring the bigger picture. People will say, I don't want to pay off this credit card, it might hurt my score. Or, I'm not using my emergency fund because I want to protect my credit. Well, hang on. You're telling me you're choosing debt over peace of mind? You're in pain for points? That's like staying in a toxic relationship because you're really good at texting them back on time. The goal isn't to be good at debt. The goal is to be free from it. What actually matters. Here's what really matters in your money life. Can you cover your bills without panic? Do you have a plan when stuff hits the fan? Are you building invisible wealth? Peace of mind, flexibility, and freedom? Are you living a life that feels stable even if it doesn't look perfect on paper? Your credit score doesn't measure that. It doesn't see your effort. It doesn't track your progress. It sure as hell doesn't reflect how resilient you've been. And it definitely doesn't know how many nights you stayed up worrying before you finally made that first move toward getting your finances under control. So reminder, you are not your credit score. You are a whole human being trying to build something better. That number, it's just one tool. It is not your worth, not your identity, not your final grade. Credit score survival tips without losing your mind or your soul. All right, so we've been dragging the credit score a little, and deservedly so. But let's be real. If you're planning to get a mortgage, buy a car, or you just want to stop getting ghosted by landlords, then yeah, your score does matter in those situations. So how do you keep it in decent shape without sabotaging your debt payoff plan or selling your soul to the gods of FICO? So let's break that down. Number one, don't close old credit cards yet. Unless they charge an annual fee or keep tempting you like a toxic ex, leave your old cards open even if they're collecting dust. Why? Because credit history length and available credit both help your score. Closing them out could ding you unnecessarily. It's not about using them, it's about keeping them alive like a houseplant you occasionally missed with good intentions. 2, keep your credit utilization low. If you're carrying balances, try to keep them under 30% of your limit. Under 10% is even better. Basically, lenders want to see that you can borrow money, but you don't need to. Kind of like how cats want attention only from people who are ignoring them. It's the same vibe. Number 3, pay on time every time. This is the single biggest factor in your score. Even if you're just making the minimum, make it on time. Set up auto pay, set alarms, write it on your bathroom mirror in lipstick, whatever it takes. Late payments haunt your credit score longer than a bad haircut. And 4, don't apply for a bunch of new credit. If you're thinking about a mortgage in the next 6 to 12 months, now is not the time to open 5 new credit cards and finance a couch shaped like a race car. Every new inquiry can drop your score a few points, and lenders like stability. Boring, predictable, safe energy. Number 5, if you're paying off debt aggressively, pick your priorities. Sometimes improving your score and killing your debt don't go hand in hand. If you're planning to buy a home soon, you may want to focus on keeping balances low and accounts open. But if you're not in mortgage mode, focus on becoming debt-free, even if your score dips in the short term, because freedom is better than points. Number 6, check your score, but don't obsess. Once a month? Cool. Every day like it's your ex's Instagram feed? No. Use a free service like Credit Karma or NerdWallet to keep an eye out for any weird activity or big drops. But remember, it's a tool, not a trophy. So yeah, credit scores aren't totally evil. They're just not the whole story. Use them wisely, like hot sauce. A little can be helpful. Too much, now you're sweating and regretting everything. Time for today's listener question, and this one comes from someone working the Debt Sucks plan and feeling a little betrayed. Ben, I've been following the Debt Sucks plan, paying off debt, building my Shit Happens fund, but my credit score just dropped. Am I doing something wrong? First off, no, you're not doing anything wrong. You're doing something right, and your credit score is just catching feelings about it. Here's what's happening. When you pay off debt, especially credit cards, you might temporarily see a dip in your score. Why? Because the credit scoring system rewards people who play the game. Borrow, repay, borrow again. But when you start saying, no thanks, I'm breaking up with debt, your score goes, wait, you don't love me anymore? It's petty, it's annoying, and it's 100% normal. Let me say this loud for the folks in the back. You are not your credit score. You are your progress. You are your peace of mind. If you're following the Debt Sucks plan, paying bills, saving money, and making smart choices, then you're doing it right. The score will catch up later. But freedom, that starts now. So don't panic. Don't backtrack. Keep going. The system wasn't built for your freedom. It was built for your debt. But you, my friend, are building something better. However, if you're thinking about buying a home in the next year or so, or if your housing or job situation requires a decent score, then yes, keep an eye on it. But don't obsess. This isn't a beauty pageant. You don't need a perfect score. You just need a functional one. Your credit score is a tool, not your self-worth. And just like any tool, its value depends on the job you're trying to do. So build your invisible wealth. Pay off debt. And if you need to keep the score in check, do it in a way that serves you, not the other way around. You're not here to be good at debt. You're here to build a life that doesn't depend on it.
Hey, let's get real for a sec. The Debt Sucks plan, it's awesome. It works. But not everyone has the time or the patience to chip away at their financial Mount Everest. Maybe you're drowning right now, like creditors calling your grandma, paycheck gone before it lands, sleepless nights count to drowning. Sound familiar? Listen, you don't have to white-knuckle your way through this alone. Instead of spending years battling debt $1 at a time, I've got you. Bankruptcy isn't a failure, it's a fresh start. And sometimes hitting reset is the smartest thing you can do. At my law firm here in South Carolina, we take the time to listen to your story and help you figure out if bankruptcy is the right choice for you. No pressure, no judgment, just straight answers and real solutions. And if you don't live in South Carolina, don't worry. I can connect you with a trusted attorney in your state. Wherever you are, help is closer than you think. So if you're ready to stop the stress and start fresh, visit debtsucks.info to share a little about your situation or call my office for a free consultation. Let's find your path forward together. because sometimes you don't need a plan, you need a damn lifeline. Let me be that lifeline.
If you've been checking your credit score like it's a crystal ball for your future, it's time for a little detox. Your challenge this week: don't check your score at all. Do one thing that builds real wealth. Save $10, pay a bill, cut an expense, whatever. Remind yourself that your progress is real, even if a number doesn't show it. So hey, if this episode gave you a little freedom from the 3-digit obsession, do me a favor. Like, follow, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who's been stressing about their score. You never know who needs to hear this. Post your wins with hashtag credit score detox and tag me at DebtSucksPod. Let's stop chasing points and start chasing peace. Until next time, remember, adulting is hard, debt makes it harder, but you're taking the power back. Keep going. You've got this.